Welcome back to another Minecraft video. In this video I'm going to show how to build this cobblestone farm behind me. So the generators at the side were based on a design by Ilmango, but the whole duper system I built myself. The way it works is the generators push the stone in from the side, and the stone that comes in is this 4x7 area here, and obviously the other side as well, and then the TNT duper will blow it all up. So this system here is the duper and stuff. The clock is the 4 repeaters here, the torch and the redstone dust. These droppers, observers and the comparator and repeater make it so that the first couple times the clock runs, the cobblestone doesn't get pushed. Because the TNT takes 4 seconds to explode, if I started running the cobblestone generators straight away, the same time I first create a lit TNT, by the time that one comes down to explode, these sometimes would make contact with each other, and then they couldn't be pushed and therefore wouldn't be broken, because moving stone is weaker than still stone. So if it can't be pushed forward because the two sides have hit each other, then it's never going to get broken, and it slows down the farm and sort of breaks it. So if I start the farm now, so you'll see the TNT will sit there, and then when it drops, that's the first time it pushes, and that's because of the dropper system. And from this point on, it just drops the TNT and does a push. Like, it does 2 pushes for 1 TNT dropped. So you can see it's working. Currently I've just got it going to lava, but you'd obviously have some sort of outfeed. This water collection system is as high up as it can be, like as close to the TNT without getting damaged at any point. So if I quickly explain this dropper system, so there are 2 items in these droppers, as you can see. When I turn off the farm, one of those 2 items moves to the, closer to the middle one, and then when I turn on the farm again, the second one moves into there. And then what that does is, the first loop of the clock, it moves one across, and then the second loop of the clock, it moves the other one across. This then turns off, this then turns off, which then depowers this, allowing the cobblestone systems to be activated, because this can change now, these rails. You can't use redstone dust, because then what it does is it powers the block here, and that stops the clock working. So if I do this, you'll see, there we go, first one's gone out, and now second one's gone out, and that's when the explosion happens. So if I give a different view of that, once the second one's moved out, that turns off, and then the clock turns off, timing it right and doing the push at the right time. Also, when you turn the farm off, there'll be a TNT left in there because of the way I use the redstone block to drop it, and also at the same time create a new one, but that just explodes in the water and does no damage. So I think I'll probably do a tutorial on this. It will kind of be a long one, so you can always skip through it. I reckon if you've seen the cobblestone generator design by other people, because it's probably the simplest one you can do, then you'll probably understand this already. So if I start with the fence gate, since that's the middle, probably a good thing to base it off. Quick note with the TNT duper before we start, you have to build it the way I will. If you try and just put the TNT in the spot it is in here, it will get ignited and just drop and blow up. Okay, so from the gate you need a block up here, and then you need to put in a And then you need to put in a stair here and also one the other side. And then you can put another stair here and another stair here. And then you can put blocks on top of here. Then the redstone block goes there. Slime blocks 4 on top of that. Another slime block here. You need a wall. Just go with cobblestone wall. The coral, it can be any dead coral fan. Not sure if living ones would work, but you know, they'd end up dying anyway. Now you can put water in these two corner stairs. Leave these ones here, they're not needed to be waterlogged. Then you can put in your TNT, which when you put it in has to go there. You need a detector rail and a minecart, which go up here. Then your piston can go there. You need a block here with a repeater on it. The repeater must be set to 2 ticks. Observer like facing this way. Another sticky piston under here. Then you can build your clock. So you have blocks here, here, and here. After placing these blocks, you can put another block down here with a redstone torch. Then you put an observer and a block, followed by a dropper and then another dropper, but they need to be facing into each other. The outer one you need to put 2 items into. You can then put a block here and get a comparator to put there, and then put a block in front of it and another block over here with a repeater on it set to 3 ticks. You then need a block in front of that repeater. Now we can build our clock. So you put redstone dust there, a repeater set to 3 ticks down here, another repeater set to 3 ticks down there, a redstone torch which will trigger your TNT duper, but since there's water it won't do any damage. Then you can put a repeater on the top set to 4 ticks and another one. I'm just going to build the TNT duper and a stone generator because it's completely symmetrical. So you put a block here and then 7 more. You now need to put a block here and 7 more. On top of here you need either powered rails or activator rails. And then an observer at the end. You then put a block in front of this observer and a block below that with a redstone dust on top. You then need 7 more blocks with redstone dust on top. Then you go down a block and 2 across and put more redstone dust and another 7 block line. And then you do this 2 more times. That should give you this. Underneath these blocks you need regular pistons. Only the ones coming off, you don't need them under these blocks here. But you put them under all those lines you made. So then you'll have this. You next need to make some little containment zones at the ends. You do this at both ends of the piston lines, like in front of them. And you do it for every line. So you'll get little spaces like this. They don't need to be covered up. You then need blocks 1 in front and 1 down from the pistons. These will get pushed off and destroyed besides this bottom one here, so I'd just use stone. You also need blocks under the pistons besides this bottom layer. These will also get pushed off, so I would just use stone for this as well. So you do that for all the layers. So then it should look like this. You also need a line of blocks at the top here along this bit. It only needs to be in front of the pistons. You can extend it to here, but you don't need to. Now you can put the water in these bits at the end beyond the pistons. So you put a water bucket at each end and then you'll get it flowing in. So then it should look like this. So you'll have the water flowing in on each layer. Next you need to place lava in the middle above the water on every layer. So then the lava will spread out and generate stone underneath. Your farm should now be ready to work. So this block down here is the input. You could also move the torch onto a block that's here if that works better for you. But if we power it, it should now work. So the stone is generated and gets destroyed, and when you switch it off, the TNT will just blow up in that water and be fine. When you start the farm, you'll see the stone won't move until the TNT first drops because of that dropper system. So there we go. You can see it's blowing it up as the pistons are pushing it, because that allows it to blow it up more. It wouldn't be able to blow up the further out bits like these edges if it weren't for the pistons pushing it. I'm going to turn it off because it's quite laggy. If you want to use the same water collection system, you need this 17 by 17 platform, and then lines around the edge and in these corners 1 block higher. So if you were to put water here, it should flow and stop just before the middle. Once you've got that platform, what you need to do is put water up until here. So leave the last 2 blocks into the corner, and you need to do this along all edges, leaving, you know, the last 2 blocks in the corner. So you should get this stationary water here and this water flowing out. If you accidentally filled in one of these, it would then create a water source and spread and just fill in the whole area with water. So be quite careful when you get to these edges, otherwise you're going to have to empty out this whole platform of water. So once you've done that for all of it, you need to come and put water on these higher blocks. So then water will all be flowing into the middle, but it's not going to spread and make the whole thing like regular water. So yeah, that's how you build this water collection system, and then you'd have the hole in the middle and some sort of water stream to take the items out. So I'm actually planning to start another survival world, which is what I want this farm for. So I've been working on multiple farms. I was working on this, but more recently I've been working on a much cooler farm, so I'll do a video on that soon. But I think that's going to have to end today's video with now 2 cobblestone generators. I should run them at the same time and get 1.5 times the rate, because this is only a half one so far. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Bye!